Okay. Dana Abercrombie from the Koalition. It is a pleasure to speak with you. I love this show. And
Wonderful.
your character has layers. As Eric Jones, you have layers. And now your dad, you discovered you're a dad.
Yes, I have.
Um, you're doing that. You're trying to also form a relationship with with the mom.
Yeah.
And you're also trying to form a relationship with JoJo. I was wondering right now, mentally, where everything is standing, where are you at, Eric, as a character mentally?
I think mentally, thanks for having this chat with me. Eric is trying to piece his life together, take steps towards making himself the best person possible. And I think the only path through that is to make things right, or at least attempt to make things right with the most important elements of his life. Of course, Naomi. And once you find out you're a father, living up to that and honoring that. So Eric will find his best self through what he can do for the people in his lives, whether it's the group, whether it's Naomi in the relationship, or his relationship with JoJo as a father.
Right. Now, when we left off, JoJo wants to be an artist, and kind of you're working against everyone's wishes, and you're deciding, okay, let's see what you got. Let me
Yeah,
see if I can play that managerial role.
yeah.
Where will I was wondering the conflict between being a dad and a manager come in? Will we see that?
I'm sure it will arise, especially having taken on these new responsibilities. But what Eric sees in JoJo is a fire and a passion that he's recognized somewhere before in a specific
Mm.
person called Naomi. So we have this I'll call duality of responsibilities to Naomi, but also to help my
Mhm.
daughter, this emerging artist who has so much passion and the skill set, follow her dreams while trying to
Mhm.
navigate, like I said, this new space of being a father and a partner to Naomi, trying not to step on her feet. It's a balancing act.
We also did see Eric was trying to help Valeria with her music as well. Will we see, because this group is like separate but still together,
Yeah.
will we see him getting his hands into different kind of musical aspects in terms of with Valeria's doing, with JoJo, with Naomi, or is he just mainly focused on Naomi right now with JoJo?
I think he will get involved with each of the women in the group as they express and articulate their artistic hopes and fingerprints.
Mhm.
Um, that's kind of the path of the show. These women went their own ways. They got insight from all the experiences they went through in life, and now they're back together. So without losing themselves, they have to find a way to coexist, to support each other, but still keep an eye on their own artistic fingerprint. So Eric, as the manager and someone who's seeking to be the best version of himself, and as I mentioned before, you try to tap into what people's hopes and dreams are, the individuals in the group, and uplift that so as a collective, they can all come to the table feeling good about themselves.
Right. Now, there's been a lot of theories. People are wondering. We had that whole episode where we didn't know who the shooter was. It was a point where we're like, I thought that it was something to do with you because you had debts to pay and
Yeah,
everything
yeah.
else. It wasn't you. You wasn't responsible. But I was wondering, getting the nasty girls back together again, was that a midlife crisis, or was
Hmm.
there something more to that? Like, why?
I wouldn't necessarily call it a crisis. I would call it an awakening. I
Mm.
remember Eric in the pilot episode speaks to Naomi and is going through this track of his life about being married and divorced. And I think privately himself, he didn't like the way things ended. And now we have this new opportunity, little muffin, and it just sparks, interest. It brings back the past, and maybe you can make things sweeter, a little better than you left them off. I think he's very much so a hustler and opportunistic, but trying
Mm.
to make sure that it works for everyone.
Guided by greed originally until it became something more.
Guided by opportunity and that hustler spirit. I think something that comes up in the industry, and I will say this: um, if you want to take a little bit of responsibility of yourself, you might say to an artist, "Hey, you should know. You should ask questions. You should." It's called the show business. Don't leave the
Mm-hmm.
business part of it. But within his true spirit, Eric knows he could have given a heads up and said, "Hey, listen, this is what it is. You might want to take care of yourselves." And I think that's what he's trying to address and moving forward. May not be perfect, but he wants to let people know what they're dealing with before moving forward.
Okay. Now, in the upcoming episode, Let It Be the Past, Eric sits down with his ex-wife with in order to kind of, I was wondering, is it in order to get money or is it also to resolve the past? Because nasty girls need some money, they need some type of financial backing, but also we don't know how that ended and it could have been a grimy situation.
Could have been a grimy situation, and you will find out so much more by watching the show tomorrow. But I think once again, revisiting this past and trying to make the present as good as it can be, he has to address the way he left certain things. And so it was only inevitable, that the storyline will have him touching base with one of his prior relationships. We gotta go through our ledger. We gotta check our receipts if we want to make new payments for things in our lives. So I think Eric is reaching out and trying to make things right so it can smooth the path. Like you said, he isn't some innocent man who just altruistically going around just trying to make everything great for people. Like there is some incentive there for him. And I think he's trying to find the best way to make it work for everyone.
Is there still love within that past, or is it just like a hate moment that we were trying to get closure on?
Taylor, that's breathing life into Eric, always has a layer of, I would say, love there. If you spend some time with a person, when love is complicated, it's layered. It isn't perfect, so it takes on different shapes and different dynamics. Now, someone may get hurt in the process of loving, or someone's aspiring to love another person, but I think at base, he's a caring human being. So if he's meeting up with his ex-wife, there's something there. There's no romantic feeling, I'm trying to wake this thing up to get back with my ex-wife, but there obviously is a care there. You got with a person for a reason in the first place. That's how Eric sees it, I believe.
Because they need money, or because of you technically you had almost a near-death experience. You technically was almost shot at.
Yeah.
Going on with needing the money, and it was coming after you. Is that what generated, let me go and resolve this?
I think that was a major motivating factor. I mean, if your life is on the line, you better find every resource possible to straighten things out. And Eric has his hands in a lot. And I think the circumstances sometimes can back him against the wall. But that's the gift and the curse of Eric. Multi-talented, somewhat of a politician and diplomat. He has to juggle a lot of things. And so staying in tune with who he is and making sure he doesn't step on too many feet is something that's imperative for him, because things are moving fast in this entertainment world. You may not even be conscious that you did someone wrong. That'll be the case, but trying to save my life is definitely a motivating factor of being aware of who's trying to run up on me for whatever it is I owe them, trying to, do I owe this person money? Did I do this person wrong? So he's got a lot of cleaning up to do. And some of it puts him at risk. Yeah.
Any other possible children in Eric's past?
Lord, I hope not. Hopefully I won't be getting any calls from Maury anytime soon. I think finding out that he was a father, and I really appreciate Eric's initial response, and acknowledging that here's an opportunity for me to be an even better version of myself. And as he expressed to Naomi, he would have wanted to know, because he could have gotten to that sooner. And I was very happy that Eric was very enthusiastic and passionate about, the opportunity to be a father and try to help make someone else's life full in any way he could.
Any other opportunity? I know you're working on the family thing for Eric. Will there be any romanticness for Eric that actually stays this time?
I mean, I hope so. I mean, I jumped in front of a bullet. I love that. I love those women. I'll also point out, no one mentioned that. I jumped in the way of a bullet. People were saying online, Eric, he deserved that bullet. He's so messy. But I think Eric has a pure heart. He's just trying to get things together. Yeah.
Okay. And just one more thing I was wondering for his future. Sure. That he has in just 3 words.
The sound cut out a little bit.
No? In 3 words, any type of hopefulness that Eric would have for the future.
So I'm sure I had that question because it kept cutting out. You said,
is there any hopefulness for Eric to get everything that he wants in the future?
I hope so. If you said in 3 words, like that's
What would it
you,
be for the in 3 words
what would it
that he?
be? Oh, what would the 3 things be that he'd be hoping for in
Yes,
the future?
yes.
Oh, okay. Uh, family,
Mhm.
um, business, like good business. That's one central thing, and just fulfillment. You know, fulfillment, I think, is a major thing for him. As part of the reason why he revisited, some of his past. Had money in his pocket, had some notoriety, but it wasn't enough. It didn't feel solid enough for him. It's very surface level. So fulfillment, a deep fulfillment. I think that's one of the hopes for Eric.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for speaking with me. I look forward to see how the journey plays out. I'm looking forward for that scene with Robin Givens. So
Hey, I'm looking forward to seeing it too. She's an exceptional talent, beautiful energy person.
yes, thank you so
Thank,
much.
thank you so much for sitting with me. Thank you.